Okay, we are bang smack in the middle of this Gevaldige Mishnah, which we are calling Mishnah Vov, of the Mem Ches, the 48 ways to wisdom. Kinyane Torah. So yeah, I'm going to try to go further, but there is so much to do over here. So I don't know how quick we could go, but we're going to try. Okay, so we're holding by Be'ema or Be'ira, which means translated with reverence and with awe. So what exactly does that mean? So the Maharal of Prague explains that Mitzvah Hashem will be by the cave soon, Be'ezah Hashem. So Maharal of Prague explains that reverence and all this idea of Emo B'Yira means actually not only to Rabban Yisrael, but it means a person's Rebbe. And that means a person's, to sense a person's greatness and one's own insignificance, to realize that they're very relevant in the relationship with the Rabban Yisrael and with a person's Rebbe as well. And a Talmud Chacham also has to realize as well, Be'ema B'Yira means that how careful he has to be to interpret the Torah in the correct way, because if he makes a mistake, it could maybe affect so many different things, which is why the first Mishnah in Pirkei Avos clearly said, why you have to have him a sunin badin. Make sure you are calm and collective. That's why Be'ema B'Yira also means it's one of the Kinyonei Torah in this way. Let's move on as well. Ba'anova. Right, Ba'anova, with modesty, with humility, which of course Pasuk initially tells us that we become people that have the ability to have Yirah Shamayim, to fear the Rabban Yisrael, if we have humility in that case. In fact, there's a Mordecai Maisa from the Heilige Chassam Sofer. The Chassam Sofer was Goynek Oinim Tzadik and Tzadikim, right? Unbelievable. He wrote on the amount that Chassam Sofer wrote on Kolato Kula was unbelievable. And somebody once asked him, they said, Rebbe, why don't you publish your writings? He didn't publish it, by the way, in his lifetime. So they asked him, why did you not do that? And he said, listen, for those of people that are no more than me or equal to me, so what are my writings going to add? And for those people that know less than me, well, what do they need it for anyway? I have to, by Torah, I have to, record my thoughts. But publishing, and no one wants to do that and thinks they're worthy of doing so, no problem. But it shows that genuine humility is really the hallmark of a actual Talmud Chacham. B'simcha, that's the next one. To learn Torah b'simcha is a gevaldige thing, very, very important idea. To learn b'simcha, it really is special for a person to learn b'simcha. In fact, the Baal Shem Tov writes, he says in Mordecai Moshel, says the Heilige Baal Shem Tov HaKodesh, imagine a person comes across a huge pile of gold coins, but he only has a very small container to put those coins into. So he starts to fill the container with as many coins as he possibly can try and fill up in that small little container, runs home, empties it with the intention of coming back in order to get more. He's so excited, he's overjoyed b'simcha at having found so many gold coins. But he knows that with a small container, he's not able to chap so much. And yes, he's happy, but he's also scared of leaving so much behind. So that's the simcha. Says the Baal Shem Tov with Torah as well. A person has the simcha of knowing some of it, but knowing that it's infinite and it's so much more to know, realizes that we're only going to leave the world with a small amount of it in that case. Reb Baruch Ber once said, I cannot imagine how a person who understands a pshat in Reb Kiva Eiga can restrain himself from dancing. The simcha that a person gets, Reb Baruch Ber said, is just unbelievable, makes no sense, and is very, very important in that case. And when a person realizes, by the way, who gains pleasure from learning Torah, experiences that simcha, when you get a good pshat, when you understand something, the depth of it, the pnimis of it, the inside of it, you gain a certain geschmack in that case. And therefore, that person will gain more success, more satisfaction, and will want to learn more, which is why it's one of the Kinyonei Torah, because when you learn the simcha, when you have simcha, when you realize the simcha of your learning, of your Torah that you acquire, you'll want to do more in that case, right? It's an unbelievable thing. Says Reb Chaim Volozhin, a person that learns 1 hour with simcha can achieve more than someone who learns in sadness over a few hours. That's an amazing, amazing thing, right? In fact, there's a famous Hakdama in the Eglei Tal from the Sochachov Rebbe Vroma Sochachov, where he brings down that when a person should never think, if I enjoy my learning, I'm not going to get schar from it, right? Because I actually enjoy it. In fact, there's a Maisa with the Ramondcha Gifta, Zatzal Rosh Yeshiva of Telz in Cleveland, spoke about his own experiences accompanying his Rosh Yeshiva, Rebbe Vom Yitzchak Bloch Zatzal, on daily walks. And Rav Gifter used to say that those walks were absolute silence. It was only when the Rosh Yeshiva would speak, that's when I would respond. And one day he said to me, and he said, when I get to the Olam HaEmes, I will not be rewarded for learning Masechtas Nedarim. Why? Because I enjoyed it so much. I got so much pleasure from learning the Ran's Pshat in the Masechtas Nedarim. I'm going to get no schar. So Rav Gifta replied to his Rosh Hashiva. He said, maybe Faket. Right, of course he did it with Aim of Yira, with covered, you don't speak someone's stum. He says maybe there'll be even greater reward, since the pleasure that the Rosh Hashiva experienced while learning the Ran is a result of the tremendous effort and toil, and Mimela, that's why he has a Simcha, and he was happy with that explanation. Moving on, Rabbi Isai, to the next one of the Kinyanim, B'Shimush Chachamim. Now this is an important one. Shimush Chachamim is very, very chashiv. In fact, we know that the Torah does not say stories. Every story in the Torah has a specific reason and a purpose why it's there. When Avram Avinu sends Eliezer to find a wife for Yitzchak, the Torah talks about the length of exactly the detailed account, how he eventually got Rivka, the whole situation over there. Why is it so much? So the Gemara explains, the Gemara says, because the Sicha of our fathers are so incredible. And that's why the Gemara says, Godel Shimush Yosem Elimudei. Shimush Chachamim, says the mission over here, is what? Is be Meshamish Tamid Chachamim. Why? Because that is what gets a person to Mikone Torah. Why is that the case? Why is it even greater than learning, says the Gemara in Brachos? The answer is when you spend time with your teacher, when you spend time with your Rebbe, when you spend time with someone who's involved in Torah, who lives Torah, who understands what to do, you get to learn things. I, Baruch Hashem, I spent many, many years doing shimush with different Rabbanim and different Gedolim in a Beis Sarah, in a Beis Din, in their homes, whatever it may be, in order to understand how they paskin. Because you can learn all of Shulchan Aruch, but if you don't do shimush, it doesn't help you. Because when you're with them, for example, I remember when I go to Bezil Obach, we used to drink a tea. We were declaring the Shaila, you make it a bracha, not bracha, and when we saw him do it, it was like, oh, that's what it is. Shimush Ta'amir Chachamim is the greatest thing in the world. And as the Chazal tell us in the Gemara in Brachos, Daf Mem Zayin, on the base, that the Sicha, even the talk of a Talmud Chacham, is a Chashav Azach. And you can learn so much from it, which is why Shimush Talmid Chachamim is included in what we're saying over here, of the one of the Kinyanet Torah, Mitzvah Shem tomorrow. We shall continue with some more.